Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Gideon Miner and today I'm with Coach Louis from Sagnol FC, United States of America. Hello coach.
Hi bud, how are you doing? Thanks for
Doing
having me.
well? Good to see you.
Yeah, you too bud.
Thank you so much. So talk to us about this program.
Yeah, so I'm the head coach of a program called Sagnol Valley State University. We are a Division II university based in central Michigan. So as I touched on, we play in Division II. We play in our league. Our conference is called the GLIAC, and we've been a pretty successful program for about the last 10 years now. So in 2012 we made it to a national championship final, and since we've been a top 25 program. And then last season we were in the top 5 in the country, and we actually had an undefeated season. So
How long has this program been here in Kenya?
so actually this is our first time actually recruiting in Africa in person. So we just spent half a week in South Africa, and we've just came to Kenya. We've been in Kenya for about a week now. We've watched about 200 student athletes, so it's been amazing to be here.
Okay, and talking of, I heard you said about they're going to study in the US, and they're going to be playing there in the US too. I want to know about the transition from high school, especially high school students transitioning from being a high schooler all the way to US to some nice colleges and then to sports now.
Yep, absolutely. So I think for anyone, there's an acclimation period. You know, it's difficult going from high school to university when you have to balance your academics and your sport. So for us, obviously, it's soccer. So, you know, we have to make sure that we prepare our student athletes correctly when they're coming, so that they understand how important the balance is of academics and soccer. So I think going from high school to university, especially coming from a foreign country, even for me in the UK, we always thought that there wouldn't be a culture shock there, but there is, because the schooling system is different. And I know that the Kenyan schooling system is more similar to the UK than the US. So I imagine that it would be different for our Kenyan student athletes as well. So as long as you come with a good attitude, really, and and a good support system from coaches and teammates, our guys that have UK backgrounds, like guys in UK, guys in Kenya who have UK education backgrounds, tend to do pretty well in the education system there.
Okay. And what type of players are you really looking to?
Yeah, for sure. So, you know, we could talk about this for hours, right? So I'll keep it as short as I can. The two biggest things are, first one's the person, right? Who you are as a person, who you are as a teammate, how good of a person you are. That's so important to us because, one, from a selfish point of view, this is my full-time job, so I don't want any toxicity or cancerous players on the team. You know, we work very, very hard to develop a good family culture, and it only takes one bad egg, you know, to hurt that, exactly, to destroy it, exactly. So that's number one. You know, we need to be good people. Number two, you know, if we're going to recruit you from an international country, you know, you have to make us better. You know, you have to be better than what we've had. You know, so you've got to be able to play. You've got to be talented enough to get into the team. You've got to show some of the qualities. You have to exhibit some of the qualities that we consider core values: hard work, grit, team first mentality, humility. You know, these things come into play when we're looking for players. But as far as the technical aspect goes, we like to see players who can play well under pressure. Guys who understand the game, who have a good IQ, know when to slow the game down, when to quicken it up. Guys who understand how to play what the game asks for. You know, whether you're playing against a team with a high line, can we play a little bit more direct? If we're playing against a team that sits in a low block, can we be patient and break teams down, etc. So guys that kind of come in with that pre-knowledge already tend to do very well, because we haven't got to explain fundamental values and concepts to them.
See, some of the players were asking, like, I had engagement with them, and they're asking after recruitment, how is that the scholarship program? Are you going to pay for air tickets, for accommodation, or take me through it?
Yeah, for sure. So in NCAA soccer, you get scholarships to fund your team. So I get 7.5 scholarships. So that means that across my 26 players, you can spend those 7 scholarships whoever you want. So I might give you $5,000, I might give that guy $1,000, and I might give the next guy $10,000. You can break it up however you want. Now, a full scholarship, which is very, very rare, that would cover someone's tuition, like their university courses, their books, their food, and their housing, their accommodation. So legally, that's everything that we're allowed to pay for. And then we are not allowed to pay for their airfare, their flights.
And the visas and the passport?
And the visas, yes, sir. So they're miscellaneous fees with regards to getting eligible. We're not allowed to pay for their NCAA fees, nor their visa.
We've seen some of the students even international level, but when the students get this scholarship, some of them forget the objective of it and they engage in various activities. So how are you going to ensure that the student is in the line of the program? That is he's studying at the same time he's playing football.
Behaving correctly. Yeah, no, I guess that comes back to the recruitment first. We want good level-headed people, guys that want to come, want to study, want to get a degree, and guys that want to be challenged in a high-level environment with regards to football. But other than that, that's part of our job as a technical staff to help nurture and mould the players that come into the program. We want to develop them into top young men, respectful, polite, that guys hardworking, guys that do the right things. And again, it comes back to our program's core values. They're the 11 things that we really try and push on the players.
So the player will just adapt to it, is it?
He has to adapt in order to be successful. Sometimes that takes longer for some people than others. Some guys come in and just kill it right away. Some guys take longer acclimation period. But that kind of comes down to the self, to the individual player. Like I said, if we get our recruitment right, those guys tend to come in and do really well because they know what it takes, and even when it gets difficult, they tend to put their head down, grit their teeth, and kind of get through it. But like I said, it's also in our job description to help these young men become proper young men. So that's a part of the job that I love to do. To help these young guys become complete young men, and I think at that point that's when we start making the right people.
Okay. But I haven't seen girls. What about girls in terms of recruitment of girls?
In terms of like actually getting girls to play soccer?
Yeah.
So at our university, we have a women's team, and they're amazing. They do really, really well. Have a great coach and great staff, and they don't recruit as internationally as we do, just because the women's soccer in America is so good. There are so many girls that play soccer, so there's definitely room on the girls' team for international students, but because the soccer level for women is so high in America, they do a lot of their recruiting within the States.
And then have you got to attend the Kenya Premier League training or prayers? Because I've seen in your trainings the recording is done.
Yep, so we were fortunate enough the start of this week, to watch the Kariobangi Sharks train here. And then we got to watch them against Mathare United. We got to watch them against Mathare United on Wednesday, and that was a really cool experience. That was very different to the soccer that we're used to. So that was amazing. So yeah, it's been amazing kind of seeing the different levels of soccer in Kenya, and it's been great because there are some very, very talented players here.
Okay. And you in Sagnol FC, how is the program there compared to Kenyan program? Since you are there, you have interacted with some of the teams here.
Yeah, of course, that's a good question, and it's a difficult one to answer. It's hard because a lot of these guys are high school age, so they're up to about 19, 20. A lot of our guys are between like 18 and 25, and then obviously you see the Premier League teams. I think that my program, would be able to play against Kariobangi and do fine. I'm not saying that we would beat them, but I think it would be an even game. So I think we're roughly at that level. Where we have a good mix of athletes from all over the world who come from very, very, very good backgrounds that can help us achieve and to be successful against teams of that level.
Okay. For the college students, you train daily or what happens? Yeah,
we're full time. So right now our schedule is we play games on Friday and Sunday, and we train every day except Tuesday. Tuesday is our recovery rest day, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, coach. And
anytime.
Yeah, I saw that you the last Copa match you played. I was doing some research. You played 14 matches. You won 12. You drew 2.
So that was in the league. Yeah, that was in the conference. Yeah, so we done really well. So we won the league. But over the course of the season, we played 19. We won 14 and drew 5. Yeah, so we didn't lose one game, so we done really, really well. Yeah.
Oh, I was almost to forget. What about the GKs? I haven't seen GKs turning out here for this recruitment.
For sure.
What do you have to do? What do you have planned for the GKs?
Yeah, so we've seen some fantastic goalkeepers this week, especially some of the Premier League goalkeepers. You know, we think they've been fantastic. We right now, our 3 goalkeepers are all from Michigan, believe it or not, which is maybe a little bit unusual for us. But we've had a couple of goalkeepers in the past go pro. We had a French goalkeeper go pro. So we do have a rich tradition and history of bringing in top goalkeepers. You know, so no, we're definitely interested to see some goalkeepers here, because we're going to be back next year. Yeah. So that might be a position that we look for next year.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, Coach Louis. Good to speak to you.
Thank you, bud. You're a
Thank you
gentleman.